Mobile World Congress 2026 is only just kicking off, but we can all go home already. Seriously, there's nothing I'm going to see at this show that will top what I've just seen from Lenovo. At every major tech show, Lenovo always brings some wacky, out-of-this-world concept products, and I'm about to show you them all. First, let's start with this gaming handheld with a foldable display. So this bad boy is officially called the Lenovo Legion Go Fold Concept. When it's in this state, it doesn't look all that different from typical gaming handhelds. The display in this scenario is 7.7 inches, or just a teensy bit bigger than the Steam Deck OLED and about an inch smaller than the Lenovo Legion Go 2's display. However, this is just one of 4 configurations that you can use with this device. The second configuration looks like this. Lenovo calls this vertical split screen mode. The display detaches from the controllers and then folds out. You can then reattach the controllers, and now you can game on either the top or bottom half of the foldable display and keep your live stream, tutorial video, or whatever you want on the other half. This could be huge for you gamers out there who love to multitask. But wait, because we're not done yet. What if you're like me and not at all a multitasker? That's no big deal because you can take the controllers off again and then flip the unfolded display into its landscape orientation. Reattach the controllers, and now you have a massive 11.6-inch display to game on. This might not be practical when you're on a plane or a train, but you could always swap back to the 7.7-inch folded mode for those situations. The fourth and final configuration is a straight-up laptop, which Lenovo is confusingly called expanded desktop mode. I mean, come on, Lenovo, it's a laptop now, not a desktop. There's a keyboard accessory that you can snap onto the foldable display so you can game with keyboard keys. You could be a monster and use the included trackpad for mouse movement, but smart gamers will use the right half of the controller, which works as a joystick-style mouse. Lenovo has done this in the past with the Lenovo Legion Go 2, so it's cool to see it come back here. But if you want to use the controller as a standard controller, you can snap each of the two halves together with this accessory. I think that technically this is a 5th configuration, but Lenovo didn't give this one a name. Of course, you could also just use this as a traditional laptop and not game with it at all. It's powered by Windows and has the Intel Core Ultra 7 258V processor inside. This is an older Lunar Lake chip, but it can still run lots of games just fine at medium or low settings. Obviously, since all the compute is inside the foldable screen, there's no room for a discrete GPU, so no NVIDIA or AMD card in here. Still, keep in mind that this is just a concept. If Lenovo ever did bring this to market, I'm sure it would have a Panther Lake processor or something a bit more recent and powerful so you could play more demanding titles. Oh, and there's one more thing here that's pretty nifty, which is this little display on the right controller half. This is actually a multifunctional bit. It's a touchpad for when you're using it in handheld mode, but it's also a display that can show things like performance metrics. It can also be set as a hotkey for whatever you want to do. Once again, this is a concept, so Lenovo isn't announcing a price or release date for this. However, judging from the fact that it has a massive foldable screen, a controller with a tiny screen in it, and a keyboard folio that would come in the box, my guess would be that this would cost about the same as a new car. Okay, maybe not that much, but it certainly wouldn't be cheap. I honestly hope a more polished version of this concept does actually launch someday. This is a really, really cool idea, and I think a lot of gamers would buy it. Plus, this would be an all-in-one purchase. A typical gaming handheld, a big gaming handheld, and a laptop. Who doesn't love that? Alright, so Lenovo has more concepts to show off. This one is the YogaBook Pro 3D concept. Lenovo made this one for professionals in the 3D creation space. Each half of the device is a tandem OLED display, and the top display supports 3D visuals without needing any special glasses. With this, creators can work on 3D projects comfortably anywhere they go. So you might be wondering, where's the keyboard? Well, that's the fun part. There isn't one. You can use the bottom half for traditional touch inputs through Windows keyboard software. But Lenovo didn't design this concept for antiquated things like typing on a keyboard. To make things even more futuristic, there's an RGB camera here that can follow hand tracking gestures. This allows the user to zoom, rotate, and interact with objects kind of like Tom Cruise did in Minority Report. I don't know how I would like this when I just want to type a quick email to my team, but maybe I could get used to it. Because 3D creators need lots of power, this concept product has some pretty beefy specs. The CPU is an Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, and there's a DGPU in the NVIDIA RTX 5070. That should make this good for creative work and also some gaming when you're not working. Or hey, maybe gaming is working for certain 3D creators. This concept isn't as broadly appealing as Legion Go Fold concept, but 3D creation is a booming business, so something like this will be in heavy demand over the coming years. Of course, this is just a concept, so who knows even when or if Lenovo will actually bring this to market. If you thought we were done with concept devices, we definitely are not. This is the ThinkBook Modular AI PC concept. The tagline for this product is carry small, use big. And that will make sense as you see what it can do. Everything about this laptop fits into a traditional 14-inch clamshell frame. In fact, when you look at it, it doesn't seem all that different from pretty much any other standard 14-inch Windows laptop. However, there's a second display hidden on the back that can give you all sorts of new ways to get work done. Remember, carry small, use big. For example, the secondary display can be mounted on the back of the main display, allowing for sharing slides with someone across from you, or doing something when the lid is closed. It can also be propped up on its own using the included kickstand to become a portable secondary monitor. You can do this in either landscape or portrait modes, which is really cool. You can also take the keyboard out and use it separately and then snap the two displays together, giving you two different unique layouts. You could have the secondary display flat on a table and the main display propped up. This might be good for things like Zoom presentations, allowing you to easily see your notes as you present. You could also put the two displays right next to each other, giving you two monitors in a portrait orientation. Really, Lenovo is giving you plenty of freedom to figure out how to make the best use of this system. But the name of this product is the ThinkBook Modular AI PC. What does the modular term mean? Well, Lenovo took some inspiration from Framework and made the ports completely modular. You can take out the USB-A, USB-C, and HDMI ports and swap them to your heart's content, allowing you to always be sure that the port you need is in the proper place, no matter which way you're configuring the full kit. There's even a nifty little carrying case for the modular pieces when you're not using them. As far as specs go, this is running the Intel Core Ultra 7 255H, an Arrow Lake processor. It has 32 gigs of RAM, a 33 watt-hour battery, and a 1 terabyte SSD. The battery size makes me nervous, especially when you remember that it's powering two displays. But that's something Lenovo would probably improve upon if this were to actually make it to retail. Speaking of which, of all the concept products I'm showing you today, this is the one that's most likely to become an actual retail device. Given that we already see Lenovo's competitors, like Asus, offering commercial laptops with some of these features, it's a given that Lenovo will throw its hat in the ring. As always though, there's no pricing or release date for this at MWC, but stay tuned for more later on in the year. Maybe. Okay, one more concept product before I go. This cute little guy is the Lenovo AI Workmate concept. Basically, this is a little AI-powered robot that lives on your desk. You can ask it questions, tell it to translate things or make notes and reminders, and even ask it to present information to you visibly since it has an included mini projector system. Lenovo promises that this concept can run LLMs locally, so you don't need to be tied to the cloud for it to work. Obviously, for more demanding AI tasks, you'll probably want a cloud-based LLM, but knowing that you can use it without that is pretty cool. I'll be honest though, this one seems a little out there. I feel like people are clamoring for less AI in their lives, not a robot that lives on their desk and can project things onto the wall. But hey, not all of Lenovo's concepts will make it to retail, so maybe this one will stay on the drawing board. That is it for the wacky Lenovo concepts at MWC this year. Which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. See you all later.